Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Beauty Connective Podcast, where beauty professionals all over the industry come together to grow, connect, and get real about what it's like mixing business with beauty. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Kenz Davis, a mom, salon owner, and business and social educator for hairstylists. Thanks so much for being here today.
Hi, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to get to know you a little bit better. Let's start. I just want to know when you got started in the hair industry. What brought you there?
I always wanted to do hair. Even I remember being in 5th grade and my mom let me go. There's a beauty school right up the street and they would do color for $5 and my mom let me get my hair done and I was like, this is what I want to do. I think this is the coolest job in the world. So I always wanted to do hair. I did hair school while I was in high school and I've been here ever since.
Dang, I wish I could go back and have done it all in high school. I think it's so cool that they do that.
Yeah, I don't know if they still do. Actually, I think they do, but I have no idea. The program I did is long gone. I think it's extinct at this point.
Yeah, $5 for the color.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so did you just start on your own right out of high school?
Yeah, I had a cousin who did hair. She actually worked in South Jordan and I lived in Salt Lake at the time. And she was working in a salon in South Jordan and the district was brand new if you know the area. And so she was like, you should come work here while you're in hair school. And so I was a receptionist / clean everyone's messes situation. And so I worked there as a receptionist until I was done with hair school, and then once I was done I started taking clients there, and it was such a cool situation.
Everything that you had hoped it would be when you were little.
Yeah, it was really cool, except for I think it was a year in, the owner had to lay us all off because the other owner was embezzling money, and I was just bummed because it was such a good situation, but then the manager at the time, she called me and she's like, just you wait, give it a couple months, she's gonna call us and hire us back. And sure enough, she did, and I worked there for probably 6 or 7 years after that. It was awesome.
Drama.
I know, so much drama in the hair industry. I can't even start.
Okay, I'm hearing that wind again. How long were you behind the chair before you kind of started transitioning into the education side of hair?
Man, let's see. So I worked in that commission salon and then I went independent and then I moved to California in 2017, and that's when I really got into education because I moved for I specialized in hair extensions and I moved to work for a hair extension company here in California, and that's when I really got into education. We had I think the company had over 100 to 200 students at one time, and so I was in their online education doing that, and it was actually a really great experience for me as an educator. But the company itself, it was my husband and I had moved and we sold our home, and oh my gosh, I haven't talked about this in so long. It's just weird to talk about, but so it was my dream job as an educator. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. We sold our home in Utah, moved to California, and I had to move first because we had put our home up for sale and it wasn't actually sold yet. So I moved and I was living off one of my coworkers' couches, who I didn't really know, but I needed to get there for the job. So I was living on her couch for about a month, and it was the day we had sold our house. My husband was driving with everything to California, and it was that day the owner of the company was actually we would prefer that you're doing so good in the salon, we would prefer that you're just a stylist for us. We don't really want you educating with everyone. We'll still have you at events, but we're not gonna have you do everything else. And it was just soul crushing. And then another month later they cut all of our pay by 20% in the salon. It was a terrible experience. So after that I was you know what, I don't need to work for a big company. I love educating. It makes me so happy to help other hairstylists. I'm gonna just start doing my own thing. And so I would say that was probably 2019 when I really got into it on my own. and I've been doing it ever since.
So when you started to get into the education side of it, what kind of gaps were you seeing in the industry that you wanted to fill by educating?
I was I wasn't thinking about like gaps at all, to be honest. Like I was on kind of a, I don't know, self-discovery, life falling apart sort of situation. I grew up Mormon, and when I moved to California, it was kind of like this like, oh, like I don't know if I believe in this anymore, and I felt like such a failure. And so for me, I like fell into like all of these like, well, what even is a belief? Like why do I believe these things? Like when you grow up believing like someone wearing a tank top is going to hell, or like having a drink of coffee is gonna like make you go to hell. It's like really jarring to move from, like a bubble into like more of a diverse area. Orange County is not that diverse, but definitely diverse compared to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Uh, and so for me, I was just like on this like self-discovery of like, how can I like help myself? And then I was also in like such a toxic work environment that at the time my therapist, she was like she's like, you're actually a workaholic, and like we really need to work on this, because for me it was like I could escape everything if I was just like working harder. So for me it was more like this self-discovery of like, okay, well, like how do our brains even work? And like if beliefs are nothing more than just a habit of thought, like what are the habits of thought that I have that maybe hold me back from having the clientele that I want, or that have held me back from believing like that I can have the life that I want. And so I was like on that kind of path, and I started incorporating that into, at the time I was offering like shadowing. So I'd have students fly in from other states and come shadow me in the salon I was working in. And so I would do like half the day was like, what is it holding you back? Like as a hairstylist, like everybody, and this, any industry, any entrepreneur, like we all have stories about like what's possible for us, or like, oh, well, like that's okay for Kylee to start this new company, but like not me, and we think that like everybody else is better than us, or like we have our like core wounds as humans. And so for me, I was like, this is what I want to talk about. Like, I'm so passionate about it because it's like finally making me feel good about my life. And so I would do like half the day, like mindset work and like helping hairstylists like see their shortcomings. And I think that's kind of a superpower of mine, is like I can meet someone or connect with someone. I'm like, you're so good at this. Like, can you see that in yourself? And so that became like my driving force actually with education, is like, there's so much, like someone can give you the system of like how to start a podcast, how to run, your, independent nail business, how to run, your salon. Like someone can give you the exact like blueprint or roadmap, but like if you have those negative belief patterns, or if you have, just those subconscious beliefs that you don't even realize are running your life, it controls everything. And so that's like, I would say, always been for me what I'm pushing with people, because it doesn't matter like if you have the right steps or whatever, if that's still there, like that is always going to be what holds you back forever and ever and ever.
That is so cool. You've experienced it, you've been through it, and I'm sure that's what makes you such a powerful coach, is being able to be like, no, I get it. I've like been there. And I can help you too. It's so true, those limiting beliefs or those like limiting mindsets. I'm curious if any particular stories right now jump out to you of like stylists that you've helped kind of like jump over those hurdles.
I would say like the most common one is I'm not enough. And like a big thing that I have, so I have some students that I've been working with like in their business for at least 3 years at a time. So I know them like very closely. Like and like I know their shortcomings, right? And I know their strengths too. And I would say like the core belief, I think so many women have this, men I'm sure do too, but I primarily work with women, and what I see is like so many women just subscribe to like, I'm not pretty enough, so like I can't post, I can't post on Instagram, or I don't have a cute enough house. So like I can't be, posting vlogs or whatever. Like we have these stories of like we're not good enough. And so then when it comes to like bigger things, like hello, like you have to market yourself. Like in today's world, as in the beauty industry, it's like your social media is your calling card. Like we don't have, we're not really handing out cards anymore. It's like you have to have a social media presence for people to have that trust with you. And I think so many people like hinder themselves because they're like, oh, my work's not good enough. And it's like, girl, like that photo was so good just because her stupid flyaway was in the way, or like just because the lighting wasn't perfect. Like clients aren't noticing that in the same way that you are. So I think it's just everybody struggles with not feeling like they're enough or that their work's not good enough. And it's like that not enoughness that like causes people to just, I need to take another class, or I need to do this, or I need to get more help. And it's like, you're already so talented. Like, look at the clients that already love you and have been with you for years. You just need to start seeing that yourself so that you can take the risk, or so that you can like post the video. So it's like really interesting because my students who I've been with for a long time, as soon as that like clicks, it's like they skyrocket. Like I have some students who went from like slow books, like no clients, to like now they average like 5 to 10 new clients a month. And like my thing is, I don't want you to have clients who are just like, oh, I want a haircut or whatever. Like I want you to have clients who like you do hair, like you're doing their hair, but it feels like you're, out with your girlfriend, and like the appointment went so fast because you're having so much fun and you have so much in common. I think that is like a completely different marketing strategy than just say, hey, I do this service. You have a beating heart, like come sit in my chair type of thing. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
so different when you've been doing hair for a long time, or you've been in the beauty industry for a long time. Like there's a difference between like clients and like clients you love. And as soon as hairstylists like get over that I'm not enough, or like they start to see how good they are, it's like everything just like skyrockets. It's so cool. It's so cool to see.
They're like excited to offer a service. There's not, it's like they know what value they're offering so that they can be excited to give that to people.
Yeah, they're excited and they're like, I know they want to book with me. It's like the coolest feeling in the world.
What are some things that you coach stylists to do to have that client relationship once they have somebody in their chair?
I was just talking to one of my students about this on Sunday, and she was kind of struggling. She's like feeling like she doesn't have the retention that she wants. And I think there's so many like simple things that sound like so simple. Why would you do that? But something that I've always done is I have like client cards, and I'll track their formulas and things like that. But I'll also track, because I do not have a good memory, like especially ever since having my daughter. I'm like, "Ugh." But what I'll do is I'll track certain things. Like if your client has kids, like what are their names, how old they are, what activities are they in? If your clients are going on vacations, or like maybe they're about to win like like I have a client who just won like the salesman of the year for her company. Like if they have big events or their birthdays, like write down, it's just as important to write down formulas as it is like notes about your clients, because um us being like in a relationship with our clients, like you can do so hair, but if you have a strong relationship with a client, they will keep coming back, and it'll give you the opportunity to get so much better at their hair. Obviously, everyone needs to be good at hair, and like you should always be evolving your techniques, but like I have found that like even when I was first doing hair and I like probably sucked, like clients always loved to come back to me because I always would like remember details like that, and that just makes people feel like happy, it just makes people feel welcomed. And I think that's such a big like blessing that we have being in the beauty industry, is like you can make someone's day every day just, by offering the services that you offer.
Totally. Nobody wants to miss their hair appointment or their nail appointment
No.
or their skincare that time, their facial. Like everyone's excited to come to you. And that's like, it's so true. It's such a fun part of being in the beauty industry. And it is such a personal such a personal connection with the clients that we have. Um, and mixing business with that, like when you have students that are struggling to do things like uphold boundaries, or sort of like more of the business side of things are a little bit more scary, especially when you feel like you are friends with one of your clients. What are some tips that you give there?
Oof. So boundaries are something that I struggled with for forever because I thought that like if you if you had good customer service, it meant that you never say no. And so I had to learn this the hard way through like burning out and like wanting to quit the industry. But I think boundaries are so much more about you protecting yourself so you have longevity in the industry. And also like when you are a burned out like artist, what ends up happening is like you start resenting your clients, you're not offering like as good of services and your clients can start to feel it. And so it feels scary to uphold a boundary, but I think like all my students, I have like all these scripts that they can just look through. Like, hey, if a client cancels, here's the script. If a client, if you need to fire a client, like here's the script. And the main gist of it is just being honest and like leaving the emotions out of it. So let's say, for example, you have a client who no shows you all the time, or like maybe they cancel day of and you have to enforce your cancellation policy. Like cancellation policies are there to protect your time. They're not there for you to be mean or anything else. Like most industries, like if you get a massage or if you go to the doctor, like they have cancellation policies to protect the business because whether you like if you do the client or not, you're not making money. And so I think having the boundary of saying like, hey, just wanted to let you know, like when you cancel on me within, this time window, I'm gonna have to enforce my cancellation policy, which is X. And having the client like have to pay that before they're able to reschedule. Some clients will fall off. Some clients will be like, I'm not paying you for that service, or I'm not paying the cancellation fee. And I think it's like wonderful when they don't, because it's like, cool, thank you. I don't have to deal with your BS anymore. Or
Mm-hmm.
like we just aren't a good fit. Like maybe you need someone who is more flexible. And it's okay. I just think the anticipation of like, oh, there could be drama is always scarier than just pulling the trigger and like just stating it as is. Like, hey, here's my policy. You were clearly aware of it. I made you sign it before you started as my client, or, however you have it set up in your business. It's so much scarier pre, you know, conflict or saying whatever you're going to say than it is on the back end. I feel like I've had to do it so many times. I've had so many students that I've had to walk through that experience. It's like 1% of clients or maybe 2% of clients like have these big freakouts. And it's the ones who have big freakouts that like you want them gone. So it's like, just know, like at least you don't have to deal with them anymore, you know?
Right. And it's almost like we want to train people to be good clients. While
Yep.
we're training to be good providers, we also want like people learn how to be good clients too. And you understand that when you're on the provider side of it, but when clients haven't been on that side, it's like not they don't know how to necessarily be great clients and what that looks like. So we're like training them.
Yeah, I love how you say that like we're training them, because I think so much of it is like the culture that you allow. Like if you're always letting clients reschedule, that's normal culture with your clients. But if you're like, hey, like this is my policy, they usually like you don't have any issues. Like I almost never have issues, like knock on wood, with my clients like canceling or rescheduling. And I've had many of them for like 7+ years, like since I moved to California. And I think it's just the culture we create as artists.
Hmm. So you are still behind the chair.
Yeah, I am. I have so I have two partners with my salon. So we've got our salon. It's wonderful. We've got our team, and then I'm still in the salon 2 days a week. I might be having to cut back to 1 day a week, and I'm kind of freaking out, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. No, that's awesome when you can do lots of different things. I'm sure that helps avoid the burnout.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, doing all of it. I'm like,
Like, actually, no.
yeah, a big reason that I might be having to cut back is so that I can focus more on my education. It's like I'm torn between both worlds. I love them both, but I think I might I might be cutting back just so that I can like protect my peace because I am like burning out. I don't want to lie about that. I'm definitely like working too much.
How do you spot burnout from a distance and know, like, how can you tell that it's coming in order to
Like
pivot?
stop. So for me, because I have a tendency to like be a workaholic, it's kind of like a safety thing for me. Like if I can work really, really hard, then I'll get to my goal. Like the thought process that I have in my brain is like, if I can just work really, really hard, then I'll get to my goal faster and then we'll be good. Like once we get there, like we're good, right? But like the trick with burnout is it's always there if you don't have like boundaries around it. So spotting it, I can't say that I'm a professional in my own life, but like with my students, I can always tell, or like with people who DM me, I can always tell when they're burned out because it's like they're talking poorly about their clients or they're like, I just don't know if I want to do this anymore. And it's like you got into this industry because you were passionate as a creative and you loved the artistry behind it. You didn't sign up for the Instagram, you didn't sign up for the business side. Like, so if you can protect yourself and have stronger boundaries around how long you're going to be in the salon or how long you're going to be on your phone. I think the big thing is people are on their phones way too much. Like way too much, and it feels like you can't really feel a boundary as a hairstylist. Like you can't really feel a boundary between like are you scrolling or are you like DMing clients back because it's just you feel like you're always on.
Hmm.
So it's hard. That was a really long-winded answer, sorry.
No, totally. It really is. It's hard because, like, especially when you mentioned social media being on scrolling, it's also like you're mentally kind of working because you're seeing other people's work and being like, oh, they did that really good. And then you're critiquing your own work and comparing yourself and engaging with people, and it starts to feel like it's really blurry lines.
Yeah, yeah. I have something called the brick. Have you seen it before?
Uh-uh.
I literally have it on my desk right now. It's the brick. This is not sponsored. But it changed my life. What you can do is you like scan your phone on it and you can select like apps to block from yourself. And so like what I'll do, cause like Instagram and like Meta and TikTok, like they have the best engineers. Like they know what they're doing. Like they want us on their apps. They get paid more. Like it's purposeful, right? And so I think a lot of people beat themselves up because they're like, I can't get off my phone. It's like, yeah, that's on purpose. But what the brick does is you scan in and it blocks the app. Like when you go to click on the app, it says like, this is a distraction, don't get on. And the only time you can get into the app is if you come back to wherever like the physical brick is and scan in. So I'll do it. Like it saved me because it's like I'll be with my family, at the end of the day, and it's like family time, but I'm like, oh, I got to respond to that message, or oh, like I catch myself scrolling at dinner and I'm like, why am I doing this, So that like forces boundaries. Everybody needs it. It's the coolest thing. You got to try it.
I love that. I want one. I need one. I tend to be the same way. Like I got messages to respond to, and especially when you're behind the chair for part of your day and then you're like missed all these messages and all the things, then you got to get back to it and fill in on everything, and then it's like
Yeah.
feels like a lot of back and forth.
Like,
I love that idea. I'm gonna use it.
definitely get it. It's so good.
Um, so you started coaching and you're still behind the chair. You have your salon, everything. When did the hairstylist blueprint begin?
Hairstylist Blueprint started about 3 years ago. I didn't call it back then, but it started about 3 years ago, and it was about a year after I had my daughter, and I was just trying to figure out like, because I think I guess like you had asked earlier, what's a gap in the industry? I don't really feel like there's enough education for business and marketing for hairstylists. And so I was finding that like a lot of my one-on-one students were really struggling to like market themselves. And so that's where I was like, okay, like I really want to help people like get the systems in place so that they can like feel like they're actually off, as well as like just feel confident, because they don't teach you like in hair school, we don't learn how to market ourselves. We don't learn how to do our finances. Like I remember when I first went out on my own I had a salon suite. I was like independent for the first time, and I was like so excited because it was the first year I had hit six figures, and I was so excited, like this is so cool, I hit six figures. And it was also like so heartbreaking because it was like, oh, I didn't pay taxes all year. Oh, these expenses, like turns out I'm not making six figures. I'm actually, it's just like heartbreaking. And so I wanted other hairstylists to be able to like have financial confidence, be able to like attract the people that they wanted to attract, and just like feel confident. Cause I feel like so many like people in the beauty industry, we're just like pretending like we know what we're doing, especially on the business side. And nobody knows, like literally nobody knows until you've learned things the hard way, I would say.
Yeah, totally. So you do all of that in the hairstylist blueprint.
Yeah.
Business, finances, marketing, everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. We do all of it. Cause I just feel like it's what we need. Like there's a million hair classes out there. There's a million extension classes out there, but like you can make so much money, doing the techniques. But if you're not organized, like with your taxes, if you're not organized, like with your systems, you're always working. Like you just said, it's like I'm always on my phone. So a lot of my students, like we have like a set office day, and maybe it's not even a full day. It's like 3 or 4 hours on, let's say, a Monday, where we get all of that admin done, get their marketing done. We do all of it in one day so that maybe the rest of the week they can spend an hour here or an hour there marketing. But then the rest of the week, like when you're not in the salon, you're like actually not in the salon. You're not going to the color store. You're not texting clients back, maybe more than 30 minutes, here or there when you need to. It's just like when you have the like white space on your calendar to be a human, it's just like life changing. It's so life changing.
Totally. And just actually stick to that. Actually take the time off. Actually separate the business side of your brain from just the like living your life side.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like it's freaking hard to do. Like I have three businesses and I'm always battling with it, but I think when you have the awareness of like, oh, I'm so stressed because I have literally been answering DMs till 8 p.m. It's like, no, shut off your phone, like do it in the morning or do it when you have the scheduled time, same way you would a client, and it feels just like dramatically different.
Yeah, I need this advice so bad right now. Sunday I was like, okay, I'm gonna like Sunday afternoon, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna relax. I'm just gonna like bed rot. I'm gonna watch a show.
Yes,
And
love
it
it.
was like I sat there just like I laid there just like stressed the whole time. I'm like,
Because you're like,
I really should be
have
doing
stuff
this.
to do list I have to do. Yeah.
Like I really should be doing this and this and this and this, but I really don't want to right now. And I said I was gonna take a break, but here I am just
Yeah.
stressed. So
Is it for you? Is it like you have like because the tasks are like stewing around, you're like, I can't relax till the tasks are done?
totally. And I have a million things like that I'm always thinking about that I need to add to my to-do list or I want to get that done or like just, and like when you own a business or like you're starting something or whatever, it's just like you're the one who's driving that.
Yeah.
Like you're in the driver's seat, you're the one that has to keep the vision of it alive, the goals of it alive. Like, and if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. So
Hmm.
it's like a lot of pressure and stressful, but also really exciting at the same time. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's a
100%
mental craze.
I don't know if we have time, but I have like something that I help my students with, and I can totally tell you how to fix it because it's so cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so as a business owner, like exactly like you just said, we always have a million tasks. It's like the tasks never get done. Like there's always going to be something new. And so what I find like a lot of times with this is something that I do every single week. And whenever my students are stressed, it's like, but did you brain dump? And so what it is you get a piece of paper and you just like write it all out. So like on Sunday, you are so stressed. I want you to write out like every single thing, like, because to your brain, like your brain doesn't know the difference between like, oh, I got to get the laundry done or I got to do the dishes and I got to respond to that client or I got to write that email. Like your brain doesn't know the difference between like an actually important needle mover in your business versus like the laundry. And so what you want to do is like the stress of it, like everything feels so much bigger in your head. So take some time, just write it all on paper, like everything that's stressing you out. And then what you want to do is like go to a new sheet of paper and separate it out. So like hot, cold, and warm, or hot, warm, and cold. And what you want to do is you want to look back over the list and see, okay, what actually is the most important? Because for you, like, I'm sure you have super important like business tasks that like if they're not getting done, like that's a big deal, right? Like it falls on you. So you go through and you circle the things that are like the hot list. Like these things have to be done either today or tomorrow or I'm screwed, right? Like they actually have to be done. So you write those on the hot list. Then you go through the list and you're like, okay, what's left on this list? Like what absolutely without a doubt has to be done this week or next week. Those items go to the warm list, and then everything else is on the cold list. Put that on a separate sheet of paper. What it does is I find like if I'm maxed out, like so stressed, when I'm writing the list, I actually get more stressed. And then as I like, so hang in there, like keep going.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you separate it out and it's like instead of 1,000 things on a piece of paper, it's like usually on your hot list, there's never more than 5 things that like absolutely have to be done. And so when you separate it out, it like kind of shows your brain like, hey girl, like we're not in fight or flight. Like it might feel like it, but like I actually have more time to do this than I thought. And then the next thing that you'll do is you'll like go through your calendar and like I love all the digital calendars, whatever, but there's something for me that like if I have like little notebooks where or like like written calendars, I'll go in my calendar and like my salon schedule doesn't change. Like I have, I'm booked out of my clients, like that's there, right? But the days I'm doing like education or like, things like this, those days fluctuate a lot. Like maybe I'm having calls, maybe I'm not. So what I'll do is I'll go through the whole week and just see like what's the most, like where can I put those like hot and warm items on my calendar. And you like without a doubt, like I've had a couple weeks where it's like, I'm going to implode. Like I literally don't have time for all of this. But because you took time to like get it out of your brain, like 90% of the time, you're going to have space to fit it in. And then you can like breathe a little bit because it's like, hey, I know I'm like stressed AF today on Sunday, but like this is my time to like rot. Like it's the only time this week I'm going to have to rot. So like I know I have time on Wednesday, like because you did the exercise. I know I have time on Wednesday to get this done. I'm going to do it. So like, shut up, brain. Like, be quiet. We're going to relax and actually enjoy this night because it's the only night you probably get. I don't know if you're like, you're married, right? You're like,
No.
or boyfriend relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's the time I have for me. It's the only time. So when you schedule that or whatever, it's like, finally, thank God I can relax a little bit.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm doing it. I'm trying that for sure.
Sorry, that's long, but like,
no, I needed that.
Your life. It's the best.
Yeah, that is seriously so helpful for me because I struggle a lot with like turning it off, and it almost it I don't know if you felt like this, but it almost doesn't feel like a weakness at all. It's like, oh, I'm actually like it's like it almost feeds my ego a little bit that I feel like I'm so like, I don't know, mentally on top of my business, but like it's actually not really doing me favors all the time.
No. And it's like our culture, like we celebrate that, right? Like we celebrate the hustle, we celebrate the grind, and like look at how much you've created. Like you've created like such beautiful businesses, like you've created such a beautiful life for yourself. But I think like the shadow side of that nobody really talks about is it's like, but how do you feel every day? Like, do you actually feel good? And there's probably like days where you feel great, and then other days where you're like, I wish I could be like a normal person and just relax. Like that would be so cool. But I think like where you are such a high achiever, it's just like learning about yourself and learning like, hey, like why am I feeling like I have to work all the time? Like why am I feeling like I have to be performing all the time? And then once you start to like understand those like parts of yourself, integrating it, and then like, hey, I have a tendency to do this because I don't feel like I'm in control, or I have a tendency to do this because I feel scared and then I want to control it so that I can feel safe. And it's like, then you're like, oh, like it makes sense that I'm this way, but how do I find that peace? And it's different for everybody, but like it's so normal and so common. I just think like we don't talk about it. It's like, good for you, you work hard, but it's like, but do you like your life? Isn't that the most important thing, is that we love our lives?
Totally. Oh my gosh. My takeaway right now is that I need to go to therapy.
Right.
That's my, I'm like, oh, I need to call my therapist. It's like, oh, I need to call him. I need to call my therapist
Do
again.
it. Do it. I think
It's so true.
yeah, it's so powerful. Like, yeah, I've been through a lot, like, and I think like, I don't know, we've all been through a lot, but I think you go through things so that, life is a mirror and like everything's just reflecting something back to you. And whether we choose to see it or not see it, it's like, oh my gosh, like maybe it is time to go back to therapy. And what's so cool is it's like, because you did the work and went to therapy, now you integrated something and it's like, oh, like I actually feel good and I'm building a business and I'm doing big things and I like it, instead of like, this effing sucks. Like, how am I going to how am I going to keep going for another 10 years,
Right. No, totally. And it all does, like, all that personal work really circles back into your business, especially in a business like this, where our job is literally to make other people feel beautiful, like feel better about themselves, like, and improve their life. And so that's such an important, like, incredible reminder that you've given me today, is that to do that personal work so that we're better for our businesses.
Yeah, fill your cup so you can help other people. I think we don't get enough credit in the beauty industry for like how much we give, but I do think we overgive. And like I just see so many hairstylists like, we you're just hurting, like, and you're like, well, I got to keep going. It's like, do something for yourself and I promise your creativity will come back, or I promise you'll get it back. It's just you're so drained, like you got nothing to give.
Yeah. Oh, well, this has been a great conversation. I needed this for real. So we've talked about so many amazing things just in the last few minutes. What is, if you had like one biggest piece of advice for hairstylists who want to grow their business and take that leap, what would you tell them?
I would say invest in yourself, whether that be like going to therapy, whether that be like healing your old trauma, or whether that be like doing the needle movers that are actually going to change your business. Like, it's so important to be technically skilled, but if you don't know how to run your finances, like you can take a million clients and you're never going to actually build wealth. So I think learning marketing, learning business, and like doing the hard work of like healing whatever it is, that we've all been through something. You've probably had something from childhood you probably need to work on. Like heal that and you'll find like your world just opens up in such different ways.
Cool. Um, okay, let's do a few fun rapid fire questions for you to wrap up our episode.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, what is one beauty trend you secretly love?
I don't know if it's like a secret, but like I love natural beauty. I love when people like embrace what they already have and like you can enhance it a little bit, but like enough with the over fillers, enough with the crazy hair trends. Like, let's do something soft and sun-kissed, and you will always look so much better, and you'll never regret it. You'll never look back and regret a soft sun-kissed look on your hair.
20 years later, you're not going to be like, what was I
What the
thinking?
F were those blood chunks in the front of my hair?
I love that. Biggest pet peeve behind the chair.
I would say like my biggest pet peeve with the beauty industry as a whole is when I see like other hairstylists like bashing other hairstylists' work. I think you can always like educate clients on like, hey, like just wanted to let you know, like these extensions ripped your hair out or like whatever. But like you just never know what was going on for that stylist that day. You never know like what the client did or didn't tell them or like whatever. I just think like we owe each other grace to, like don't just bash another hairstylist. But I also think like it's really important to educate our clients like, hey, this isn't okay. Like, let me help you. But I just hate when, especially on like TikTok, when you see people like bashing each other for pricing or like, oh, it's just like such an ick of mine.
I agree. I totally agree. Do you have uh, a dream collab?
Ooh, dream collab. I'm working on a dream collab right now.
Oh,
Yeah, so in January I went to LA. I was having like a lot of body pain because as hairstylists we're like this all day long. And I met with this chiropractor slash I don't know, he's just like a magician, and he taught me some like really cool techniques that you can do at home, like just with a couple different bands and like balls. I feel 1,000 times better. Like my body just feels like I never did hair. Like I just feel like so good again. And so I'm going to be bringing him as well as my like mentor in to like start teaching hairstylists how to like take better care of their bodies and like the mental side of it, like even more so, like healing your trauma, doing things like that. Like, because I just think there's such a big kind of like scab in our industry of
hmm.
us having problems like physically. And I don't think you realize like when your back's hurting from like, I'm sure even, for you, like bending over, like doing nails all day, it's like you don't realize how much your neck tension correlates with like you snapping at your boyfriend or like being mean to a client, it's like
Yeah,
I just feel like shit. I didn't realize like that was just because I felt, crappy. So
right.
that's something I'm working on right now and I'm super stoked about it. They're not known in the hair industry at all, but it's like I think there's a big gap that we need as like artists for that.
That's huge. I think that could be really valuable even too for the nail industry because it's true. Like my shoulders, my neck, back, my arms, like my pinkies get really sore.
Yeah.
Like, and that is another thing that we don't really talk about, and no one's, posting solutions for that really. It's just like,
No, it's
well, we're
like,
all just sore.
yeah, just suck it up, go to a chiropractor, whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
like this does not have to be the norm.
Where can everybody find you online? If they want your coaching, if they want the hairstylist blueprint, where does everyone find you?
Um, I've got everything linked on my Instagram, just Kenz Davis _, or you can go to my website, kensdavis.com, and you can see all my education links, uh, all of it's there.
Amazing. Thank you again so much for being here. I had so much fun talking to you,
Thank
and would recommend anyone to. You've coached me today, so everyone should everyone should book with you.
Thank you.